Have you ever looked down into the toilet one quiet morning and noticed something different about your urine? Maybe the bubbles seemed thicker than usual, maybe they stayed on the surface longer than you expected, or perhaps there was a stronger smell that wasn't there before. Most people brush it off. I probably didn't drink enough water yesterday, they tell themselves. It's just part of getting older. After all, if there's no pain, no fever, and nothing that seems urgent, it's easy to believe there's nothing to worry about. But what if those small changes aren't simply random? What if your body is trying to whisper long before it ever has to shout? The good news is that supporting your kidneys doesn't always begin with complicated routines or expensive products. More often, it starts by paying closer attention to the small signals your body gives you and by building simple daily habits that work with your body's natural systems instead of against them. One traditional habit that has attracted growing interest is a warm herbal morning drink made from familiar kitchen ingredients. Not because it's a miracle cure or a magical kidney cleanse, but because several of its ingredients have been studied for their antioxidant and plant-based compounds that may help support overall kidney health as part of a healthy lifestyle. Today, we're going to explore why this particular drink has become so popular, why it's prepared as a warm beverage instead of added to a meal, what current research actually says about its ingredients, and how to prepare it safely if it fits your personal health goals. We'll also talk about who should be more cautious, because even natural ingredients aren't the right choice for everyone. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed foamy urine, a stronger smell than usual, or any small change that made you wonder if something was different? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might encourage someone else to pay closer attention to their own health. And if you enjoy learning practical, science-informed wellness tips designed especially for adults over 50, consider subscribing to the channel so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Every week, we explore simple habits that can help you stay active, independent, and confident as you age. Now, before we talk about the drink itself, there's one question we need to answer first. If this recipe has become so popular around the world, why is it prepared as a warm drink instead of simply eating the same ingredients with a meal? Once you understand that, the rest of today's discussion will make much more sense. 1. Why this herbal drink has become so popular. Over the years, I've noticed something interesting. Every few months, a new miracle drink seems to take over the internet, promising to flush toxins, reverse aging, or completely transform your health in just a few days. Most of those trends disappear as quickly as they arrive. This herbal drink, however, has remained part of traditional wellness practices for generations, long before social media ever existed. I don't believe its popularity comes from the idea that it can clean your kidneys overnight. Instead, I think it has endured because it is simple, affordable, made from ingredients that many families already keep in their kitchens, and easy to incorporate into a daily routine. What makes this recipe particularly interesting isn't the promise of dramatic results, but the combination of plant compounds found in its ingredients. Coriander seeds, ginger, turmeric, lemon, and black pepper all contain naturally occurring phytochemicals, including polyphenols and other antioxidant compounds that researchers have studied for their potential role in helping the body manage oxidative stress. Several of these ingredients have also been investigated for their ability to support the body's normal inflammatory response, an important part of maintaining overall health as we grow older. None of this means the drink repairs damaged kidneys or replaces healthy lifestyle habits. Rather, it highlights how a combination of everyday foods may contribute to an environment that supports the body's natural processes. I often compare it to maintaining a car. No one changes the engine oil once and expects the vehicle to run perfectly for the next 10 years. Reliable performance comes from consistent maintenance carried out over time. Your kidneys deserve steady care. If you decide to try this herbal drink, don't think of it as a 7-day miracle. Think of it as one small habit within a much larger routine that includes balanced meals, staying appropriately hydrated, regular physical activity, and managing conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes. Consistency is almost always more powerful than intensity. So, if this drink isn't about one magical ingredient, which component deserves our attention first, and why has it become the true centerpiece of this traditional recipe? 2. Coriander seeds. More than just a spice. When I first mentioned coriander seeds, many people immediately think of seasoning. They're the small, round seeds often used to add a warm, citrus-like flavor to soups, stews, curries, and pickled vegetables. At first glance, they don't seem like anything extraordinary. Yet among the many herbs and spices found in a typical kitchen, coriander has attracted growing scientific interest because of the naturally occurring plant compounds it contains. That's one of the reasons it has remained a central ingredient in traditional herbal preparations for centuries. From what I've seen in the research, coriander isn't interesting because it performs miracles. It's interesting because it's naturally rich in antioxidant compounds including polyphenols and flavonoids, which may help the body defend itself against oxidative stress. As we get older, oxidative stress gradually increases, especially in people living with conditions such as high blood pressure or diabetes. While oxidative stress is a normal part of life, excessive amounts over many years can place additional strain on many organs, including the kidneys. Supporting the body's natural antioxidant defenses is one reason coriander continues to be studied. Another area that has caught researchers' attention comes from preclinical studies using animal models. In some experiments, heated coriander leaf extracts were associated with lower levels of certain heavy metals, including arsenic, cadmium, and excess iron, in body tissues after prolonged exposure. These findings are certainly interesting, but it's important to keep them in perspective. Animal studies help scientists generate new ideas, yet they do not prove that the same effects occur in humans under everyday conditions. More human research is still needed before any firm conclusions can be made. Some studies have also explored coriander's mild natural diuretic properties, suggesting that it may gently encourage urine production in certain situations. I like to think of it this way. Imagine water flowing through a clean garden hose. The goal isn't to replace the entire plumbing system overnight. It's simply to help the water move smoothly through a system that's already designed to do its job. That's a much more realistic way to think about supporting healthy kidney function. If you'd like to prepare this recipe yourself, choose whole coriander seeds whenever possible rather than heavily processed powders, since whole seeds tend to preserve their natural aroma and plant compounds better over time. Use moderate amounts instead of assuming that more is always better. And remember that no herbal drink should replace plain water, which remains one of the most important ways to support your body's normal fluid balance. If you've ever cooked with coriander, I'd love to know how you use it. Share your favorite recipe or family tradition in the comments below. But coriander isn't working alone. The real strength of this recipe begins to appear when several carefully chosen ingredients are brought together, each contributing something a little different. 3. Why ginger, turmeric, and black pepper are often combined. Whenever I come across a traditional herbal recipe that has been passed down through generations, I like to ask a simple question. Why were these particular ingredients chosen to work together instead of being used separately? In many cases, the answer isn't about one ingredient doing all the work. It's about how each one contributes something different. That's exactly what makes this combination of ginger, turmeric, and black pepper so interesting. Rather than relying on a single plant compound, this recipe brings together ingredients that have been studied for complementary properties, creating a blend that is far more balanced than any one spice on its own. Let's begin with ginger. Most of ginger's well-known properties are linked to naturally occurring compounds called gingerols. Researchers have explored gingerols for their antioxidant activity and their potential role in supporting the body's normal inflammatory response. As we age, maintaining a healthy inflammatory balance becomes increasingly important because chronic low-grade inflammation is associated with many age-related conditions. Ginger has also been widely appreciated for centuries because it supports comfortable digestion. When digestion functions efficiently, the body is often better able to process nutrients and maintain overall metabolic balance, making ginger a logical addition to many traditional wellness. Turmeric brings another valuable component to the blend through its active compound, curcumin. Curcumin has been the subject of thousands of scientific studies because of its antioxidant properties and its potential to help the body respond to oxidative stress. Although curcumin is not a cure for disease, many researchers continue exploring how it may contribute to healthy aging when consumed as part of an overall balanced diet. That's one reason turmeric has become such a familiar ingredient in kitchens around the world. The final ingredient may seem surprisingly small, yet it plays an important supporting role. Black pepper contains a natural compound called piperine. Piperine has attracted attention because research suggests it can improve the body's absorption of curcumin, allowing more of this compound to become available after digestion. Without black pepper, curcumin is absorbed much less efficiently. That's why these two spices are so often paired in both traditional cooking and modern nutritional discussions. discussions. I like to compare this combination to a well-organized team working toward the same goal. Imagine one person carrying important supplies, another unlocking the door so those supplies can actually enter the building, and a third coordinating everything so the entire process runs more smoothly. None of them accomplishes the task alone, but together they make the system work more efficiently. In much the same way, ginger, turmeric, and black pepper each contribute a different role rather than competing with one another. One important point I always encourage people to remember is that more is not necessarily better. If you're taking blood-thinning medications or have been advised to avoid large amounts of certain herbs or spices, concentrated doses of ginger or turmeric may not be appropriate without professional guidance. Using culinary amounts in a balanced recipe is very different from consuming highly concentrated supplements. So, how do you actually prepare this drink safely while getting the most from each of these carefully selected ingredients? 4. A simple morning recipe you can make at home. Now that we've looked at why these ingredients are often paired together, let's talk about how this traditional morning drink is commonly prepared. One reason I appreciate this recipe is that it doesn't require expensive supplements or hard-to-find ingredients. Everything can usually be found in an ordinary grocery store, making it practical for almost anyone who enjoys preparing simple homemade beverages. To make this drink, begin with 2 tablespoons of whole coriander seeds, about 2 cups of water, a small piece of fresh ginger roughly half an inch long, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, the juice of half a lemon, and, if you prefer a slightly sweeter taste, was salma cypri. The honey is completely optional, and many people choose to leave it out, especially if they're watching their blood sugar. I like the traditional method because it is simple and requires very little effort. Place the whole coriander seeds in the water the night before and allow them to soak while you sleep. By the following morning, pour both the water and the soaked seeds into a small saucepan and gently simmer them for about 8 to 10 minutes. During the last 2 minutes of cooking, add the crushed ginger, turmeric, and black pepper so their natural flavors and compounds have time to infuse into the liquid without prolonged heating. Once the drink has finished simmering, strain out the solids and allow it to cool until it is comfortably warm rather than hot. Only then should you stir in the fresh lemon juice. Adding lemon after heating helps preserve its fresh flavor and naturally occurring vitamin C. If you decide to use honey, this is also the best time to mix it in. If this type of drink fits your individual nutritional needs and daily routine, many people prefer to enjoy it about 30 minutes before breakfast. More important than drinking a large amount is simply being consistent. Rather than expecting dramatic changes after a day or two, think of this as a small morning ritual that may complement other healthy habits over time. There's another perspective that I believe is even more helpful. Instead of checking only whether the bubbles in your urine look different, pay attention to the bigger picture. Notice how your energy feels throughout the day. Keep an eye on whether you're drinking enough water consistently. Observe the overall color of your urine rather than focusing on a single trip to the bathroom. Small patterns that repeat over days or weeks often tell us much more than one isolated observation. Even the best recipe won't help if a few everyday habits keep putting extra pressure on your kidneys. That's exactly what we'll explore next. 6. Who should be more careful before trying this herbal drink? Before adding any new herbal drink to your daily routine, I always encourage taking a moment to consider your overall health picture. Natural ingredients can certainly be part of a healthy lifestyle, but natural doesn't automatically mean they're the right choice for everyone. Our bodies respond differently depending on existing health conditions, medications, and individual nutritional needs. If you've been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, especially in the later stages, or you're currently receiving dialysis treatments, this recipe shouldn't be viewed as something to start on your own. The same applies if you're taking blood-thinning medications, since ingredients such as ginger and turmeric may influence how your body responds to those medicines. People with naturally low blood pressure should also be cautious because some herbs may contribute to a further reduction in blood pressure in certain individuals. Pregnancy and breastfeeding are 2 other situations where it's wise to be especially careful with concentrated herbal preparations, even when the ingredients seem familiar from everyday cooking. Likewise, if you've experienced kidney stones, the best dietary approach often depends on the specific type of stone involved, so a recipe that may be suitable for one person isn't necessarily appropriate for another. I also encourage extra caution if you're taking several prescription medications every day. Herbs, supplements, and medications can sometimes interact with one another in ways that aren't immediately obvious. That's why it's always worth making sure a new routine fits comfortably alongside everything else you're already doing to support your health. My goal isn't to discourage anyone from exploring healthy habits. It's simply to remind you that the safest wellness plan is one that respects your individual circumstances rather than assuming the same approach works for everyone. And this brings us to something I wish every older adult understood: the truth about kidney health that most people never hear. Over the years, I've heard the same belief repeated again and again. People often tell me, my kidneys are probably getting weaker because I'm getting older, or I must not have been drinking enough water. While aging and hydration certainly play a role, I've learned that these explanations are often only a small part of a much bigger picture. The truth is that healthy kidneys are influenced by many factors working together over time. Blood sugar that remains elevated for years can gradually affect the tiny filtering units inside the kidneys. Blood pressure that stays consistently high places extra force on delicate blood vessels. Everyday food choices, especially those high in sodium and heavily processed ingredients, can slowly increase the workload these remarkable organs must handle. Certain medications, when used too often or without careful attention, may also contribute additional stress. Most importantly, these changes rarely happen overnight. They develop quietly through the accumulation of thousands of small moments spread across many years. That's why I never want anyone to blame themselves after noticing a new symptom or receiving an unexpected lab result. Your body isn't keeping score based on one holiday meal, one busy week, or one period when you didn't drink enough water. It's responding to patterns that have developed over time, and understanding those gives you the opportunity to create new ones. What gives me hope is that healthy habits work in exactly the same way. Just as small daily choices can gradually increase stress on the kidneys, small positive choices repeated consistently can also help support your overall health. Drinking enough water for your individual needs, preparing more meals at home, being mindful of sodium, staying physically active, and choosing supportive foods more often than not may seem like simple steps, but their effects build quietly over months and years. Real progress rarely comes from dramatic changes that last a weekend. More often, it comes from ordinary habits practiced consistently until they become part of everyday life. That's the message I hope every older adult carries away from today's discussion. A simple 2-week plan to start supporting your kidneys today. By this point, you might be wondering, where do I actually begin? I always encourage people to keep the process simple. Instead of trying to change everything at once, focus on a few realistic habits that you can maintain consistently. Lasting progress usually comes from small steps repeated every day, not from dramatic changes that only last a week. During your first week, if this herbal drink fits your individual health needs and overall eating plan, consider preparing it as part of your morning routine. Don't worry about trying to drink large amounts or expecting immediate results. Consistency matters far more than quantity. Continue drinking the amount of water that has been recommended for your personal situation, especially if you've previously been advised to follow specific fluid guidelines. At the same time, begin paying attention to patterns instead of isolated moments. Notice the overall color of your urine throughout the day rather than focusing on a single bathroom visit. Pay attention to your energy levels from morning to evening and make a note of how many times you wake up to urinate during the night. These observations often provide a more meaningful picture than relying on one symptom alone. During the second week, shift your attention beyond the drink itself and strengthen the habits that support healthy kidneys every day. Look for simple ways to reduce excess sodium by choosing fewer highly processed foods and preparing more meals at home whenever possible. Add an extra serving of vegetables to your lunch or dinner and aim for regular movement, even if it's just a comfortable walk around your neighborhood after a meal. These small adjustments may have a much greater long-term impact than any single recipe. The next time you have a routine health visit, consider asking about 3 important measurements that can provide valuable information about kidney health: your estimated glomerular filtration rate, (eGFR), your urine albumin to creatinine ratio, UACR cycle, and These measurements offer a clearer picture of how well your kidneys are functioning than relying on symptoms alone. Finally, remember that any new routine should make you feel supported, not worse. If you experience severe pain, develop a fever, notice blood in your urine, experience rapidly increasing swelling in your legs or feet, or feel persistent dizziness or any unusual reaction after trying the drink, stop using it and seek prompt medical evaluation. Listening to your body and responding early is always one of the smartest health decisions you can make. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had your kidney function checked, even if you felt completely healthy? Share your experience in the comments because your story may encourage someone else to take that important first step. If you found today's video helpful, please take a moment to like it and share it with a parent, a friend, or anyone over 60 who may benefit from this information. And if you'd like more evidence-informed videos on kidney health, diabetes, healthy aging, and simple nutrition strategies that fit everyday life, be sure to subscribe and join our community. As we come to the end of today's conversation, I hope you'll remember one important idea. The goal isn't simply to see better numbers on a lab report. Those numbers certainly matter, but they aren't what most of us truly hope for. What we really want is to wake up in the morning feeling a little more energized than we did yesterday. We want to drive ourselves to the grocery store with confidence, enjoy an afternoon walk without feeling exhausted, play with our grandchildren without needing to sit down every few minutes, and continue living the independent life we've worked so hard to build over the years. That's why I believe kidney health is about so much more than the kidneys themselves. It's about protecting your freedom, preserving your confidence, and giving yourself the best opportunity to continue doing the everyday things that bring joy and purpose to life. If there's one message I'd like you to take away today, it's this. Your kidneys aren't waiting for a miracle. They're responding to the choices you make every single day. One balanced meal may not change everything. One walk around the neighborhood may not transform your health overnight. One cup of this herbal drink, even if it's appropriate for you, won't solve every problem. But when these small choices are repeated consistently, week after week and month after month, they begin working together in ways that are far more powerful than any quick fix ever could. That's exactly why I see this herbal drink as a starting point, not the destination. If it fits your personal health needs, it can become one small part of a much bigger lifestyle, built on nourishing foods, regular movement, good hydration, and paying attention to the signals your body gives you. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Until next time, take good care of yourself, stay curious, and remember that your health is built one small choice at a time.
Hi, we hope that this video gives you something interesting and helpful for you. And don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and comment below to us to know what you like about this video. Bye.
Every cup you drink, every bite you eat, your kidneys are there, behind the scenes, cleaning your blood, balancing salts and fluids, and keeping your heart beating steadily. But over time, even the best filters can get clogged. Excess creatinine, uric acid, sodium, and toxins start to build up, slowing your kidneys down drop by drop. That's when the signs start. Puffy eyes in the morning, foamy urine, high blood pressure, aching muscles. They may seem harmless at first, but they're early warning signs of kidney damage. You don't always need to take a pill to start healing. Some of the most powerful remedies are steeped in nature. Herbal teas, when carefully chosen, can soothe inflammation, flush out waste, reduce creatinine, and even help regulate blood pressure. Science confirms it, and centuries of traditional medicine have echoed the same truth that the right tea can be a gentle reset for your kidneys. So next time you reach for a cup of tea, what if that sip could save your kidneys? Check out these 8 healing teas that really do the trick. 1. Chamomile tea. They say a whisper can be more powerful than a shout. Could that also be true for your kidneys? While chamomile is famous for calming nerves, few realize its hidden strength lies in a compound called apigenin, a natural flavonoid with a profound impact on kidney repair. In just 1 cup, a 8-ozai of chamomile tea, you get up to 2.5 milligrams of apigenin, which reduces oxidative stress and cools inflammation in the kidneys, 2 key drivers of elevated creatinine levels. Apigenin works by suppressing the NF-κB signaling pathway, slowing kidney tissue damage and allowing nephrons to recover. According to a 2022 study by the American Society of Nephrology, patients drinking chamomile extract daily experienced a 16% drop in creatinine levels after 6 weeks. But its healing touch doesn't stop there. Chamomile also helps soothe the digestive tract, reduce blood sugar spikes, and ease sleep, all of which play subtle but important roles in protecting kidney function. This is especially vital for seniors, whose sleep loss and blood sugar swings often go unnoticed. To unlock its full power, brew chamomile with a lid to trap volatile oils, and try adding a dash of lemon. Vitamin C improves absorption dramatically. So, if a flower can calm the mind and rescue the kidneys, what other healing forces might be hiding in plain sight? 2. Hibiscus tea. As in the previous video on foods that support lower creatinine, the high water content in cucumbers helps detoxify and reduce kidney inflammation. But did you know this vibrant red flower can even better filter out toxins? The vivid red of hibiscus tea isn't just pretty, it's packed with delphinidin-3 sambubioside, a powerful anthocyanin that defends the kidneys from inside out. Every 8 Oz cup of hibiscus tea provides roughly 30-35 milligallons of anthocyanins, which activate AMP-activated protein kinase, AMPK, a cellular cleanup switch. When AMPK is triggered, your body removes waste at a faster rate, including urea and creatinine. This means your kidneys get real help from the inside, not just symptom relief. And here's the kicker. Harvard Health Publishing revealed that seniors drinking hibiscus tea daily saw a 7-point drop in systolic blood pressure, easing strain on fragile kidneys and lowering the risk of further damage. That's not just a bonus, it's a breakthrough. Less pressure means better blood flow, better filtration, and better overall health. Hibiscus also supports heart health, controls mild swelling from fluid retention, and has mild diuretic properties, making it a smart daily ritual for anyone managing early-stage kidney decline. Cold brewing it overnight enhances anthocyanin release while reducing bitterness, and drinking it before meals may help blunt sugar spikes. If one flower can relax your vessels and lower your pressure, what else can you sip to lift the burden off your kidneys? 3. Green tea. Your morning coffee might wake you up, but is it silently hurting your kidneys? Green tea offers something far better. Alertness, yes, but also epigallocatechin, galate, EGCG, one of the most studied antioxidants for kidney protection. Each 8 Oz serving delivers about 50 to 100 millimolars of EGCG, a compound that quenches free radicals and reduces inflammation in kidney tissue. It also inhibits TGF-B1, a protein known to cause fibrosis, a scarring process that can lead to kidney failure if left unchecked. In essence, EGCG helps kidneys heal instead of harden. A 2023 review by the National Kidney Foundation found that regular green tea drinkers over age 60 had a 24% lower risk of renal decline compared to non-drinkers. That's not coincidence, that's chemistry at work, but the benefits don't stop at the kidneys. EGCG also supports brain health, lowers LDL cholesterol, and reduces joint inflammation, an important plus for seniors managing arthritis or memory fog. To maximize benefits, steep your green tea no longer than 3 minutes and add a pinch of black pepper. Piperine enhances EGCG absorption significantly. So if green tea can defend your brain, your heart, and your kidneys, what happens when nature gets even spicier? 4. Ginger tea. When pain flares in your joints or stomach, what do you reach for? Many turn to NSAIDs, but over time these drugs can sabotage your kidneys. What if one root could soothe pain and protect your kidneys at the same time? Ginger tea made from fresh root contains 6-gingerol, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory properties. A robust 8 Oz cup of ginger tea offers around 4 milligrams of 6-gingerol, especially when made with grated raw ginger. This compound blocks TNF-alpha and COX-2, which are major inflammation triggers in kidney tissue. In a 2021 study published by the Journal of Renal Nutrition, participants with early kidney impairment who took ginger daily showed a 29% improvement in creatinine clearance within just 8 weeks. That's not just symptom control, it's recovery in motion. Ginger also supports blood flow, helps regulate glucose, and calms nausea, making it a triple threat for seniors juggling multiple chronic conditions. And when paired with turmeric, the anti-inflammatory power multiplies. Use only fresh ginger root for brewing and toss in a pinch of turmeric. Just 1/8 TSP is enough to maximize benefits. Now that your kidneys have tasted the fire of healing, are you ready to meet the root that pulls toxins out by the stem? 5. Cinnamon tea. Sweetness often masks danger, but in cinnamon's case, the sweet aroma hides something extraordinary, a kidney defender in disguise. Unlike sugary desserts that burden your kidneys, cinnamon tea helps lift the toxic load thanks to a potent compound called cinnamaldehyde. An 8 Oz cup of cinnamon tea, brewed with a cinnamon stick or 1 teaspoon of ground Ceylon cinnamon, contains about 6 to 8 milligauss of cinnamaldehyde, which has been shown to reduce blood urea nitrogen and lower creatinine by enhancing renal microcirculation and suppressing AGs, advanced glycation end products, that stiffen blood vessels and choke the kidneys. In 2022, the Journal of Complementary Medicine published a study showing that individuals with mild kidney dysfunction who consume cinnamon daily saw a 21% improvement in GFR, glomerular filtration rate, over 3 months, restoring a filter function many thought lost forever. Beyond the kidneys, cinnamon tea stabilizes blood sugar, lowers bad cholesterol, and even reduces belly fat, easing pressure on metabolic pathways that stress aging kidneys. To unlock its full strength, steep Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia, for 10 minutes with a clove or two. This boosts circulation and balances blood sugar spikes. So if one spice can sweeten your tea and protect your kidneys from the bitter end, what could a leafy herb do when stirred into your next cup? 6. Parsley tea. It hides beneath the lettuce, often forgotten, yet parsley may be the most underrated kidney protector in your kitchen. This humble herb, when steeped into tea, releases a powerhouse compound, apiol, a volatile oil that stimulates kidney cleansing like few others. Just 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, brewed into tea, offers 15-25 milligallons of apiol and flavonoids like luteolin and apigenin, which increase urine output and reduce renal oxidative stress. By promoting mild diuresis, parsley tea flushes excess creatinine and sodium, helping your kidneys work less to maintain balance. According to the International Journal of Molecular Sciences 2021, parsley extracts significantly reduced serum creatinine and urea levels in animal models within 2 weeks, demonstrating a direct renal cleansing effect through both diuresis and cellular protection. But the benefits don't end there. Parsley tea supports liver detoxification, reduces bloating, and may lower blood pressure by relaxing blood vessels, all of which ease the strain on your kidneys as you age. To make it effective, steep fresh parsley, not dried, for 8 minutes and add a few lemon slices to amplify its detoxifying effects. So if something so simple can sweep your kidneys clean, what happens when you add a plant with sting and strength? 7. Nettle leaf tea. Most people avoid stinging nettle in the wild, but what if the very plant we fear holds the power to repair what time has damaged? In tea form, nettle transforms into a gentle healer, rich in chlorogenic acid, a compound that shields and restores kidneys at the cellular level. 1 8 Oz cup of nettle leaf tea contains about 20-30 milligallons of chlorogenic acid, which has been shown to inhibit lipid peroxidation and reduce inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, both of which drive kidney damage and elevate creatinine. In a 2023 clinical trial cited by Phytotherapy Research, patients who drank nettle tea for 8 weeks saw a 15% reduction in serum creatinine, along with a significant drop in uric acid levels, making it especially valuable for seniors battling both kidney issues and gout. Nettle also supports joint health, alleviates seasonal allergies, and provides iron and vitamin C, a rare combo that fights anemia without overloading your kidneys with synthetic supplements. Brew it with a stainless steel infuser, not aluminum, to avoid metal interaction, and drink between meals for optimal absorption and less diuretic strain. If even the sting of nettle can become soothing medicine, what healing force might lie buried beneath the ground? 8. Dandelion root tea. It's the weed we fight in our lawns, but in your teacup, dandelion root becomes a deep detoxifier. With its bitter edge comes bold healing, led by terexasterol, a triterpenoid that rejuvenates kidney function and supports toxin removal from the root level. A strong 8 Oz cup of roasted dandelion root tea, made from 1 TBSP of dried root, yields about 12-15 milligallons of terexasterol, which works by reducing renal inflammation enhancing bile flow and stimulating the excretion of nitrogenous waste, like creatinine and urea, through both the liver and kidneys. A study in Frontiers in Pharmacology 2022 showed that tiraxasterol reduced renal fibrosis and oxidative injury in diabetic rats, cutting creatinine buildup by nearly 19% in just 4 weeks, suggesting serious promise for long-term kidney support. Dandelion root also helps regulate blood sugar, improve digestion, and reduce water retention, an often overlooked source of strain in aging kidneys. Roast your own roots for deeper flavor and stronger diuretic effects, or blend with cinnamon for a warming, synergistic detox tonic. Did you like what you saw? Then don't keep this kidney-saving secret to yourself. Even a humble flower, root, or leaf can protect your kidneys. Imagine what one person sharing can do for the health of someone else. Like this video, if you believe in healing through nature, share it with a friend or loved one who may be silently struggling with kidney issues. Comment below which tea you'll try first, or tell us what works for you. Your story could inspire someone else's healing journey. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for watching, learning, and being a part of a growing community that believes in natural solutions, powerful nutrients, and a second chance for our kidneys. We're here for you, and together we're making health a movement. So sip slowly, sip hard, and remember, a cup of tea today could be the reason your kidneys smile tomorrow.